In this video I am going to review the Matrix Trilogy. I have reviewed these films before, but I have decided to compile them into one video and improve the sound quality. The Matrix came out in 1999. It was written and directed by Larry and Andy Wachowski, and stars Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, Carrie-Anne Moss, Joe Pantoliano, and Hugo Weaving. It follows the story of Neo, a computer hacker who learns from mysterious rebels about the true nature of his reality and his role in the war against its controllers. Neo wishes to learn the answer to the question, what is the Matrix? Cryptic messages appearing on his computer monitor and encounters with three sinister agents lead him to a group led by the mysterious underground hacker Morpheus, played by Lawrence Fishburne, a man who offers him the chance to learn the truth about the Matrix. Morpheus offers Neo a choice between two pills, a blue pill that would return him to his old life, and a red pill that would allow him to learn the answers he seeks. From there, the secrets surrounding the Matrix are revealed to Neo. The Matrix has got a lot of positive reception ever since its release. This is hardly surprising seeing as it is a brilliant film. Let's start with the story. The Wachowski brothers are clearly pure geniuses to have come up with such an amazing plot. It is a very intricate story which takes many twists and turns and explores such themes as the feeling of being trapped or isolated and even makes you consider the question, does God exist? It is a rather far-fetched plot, but at the same time it seems very plausible. The action scenes in this movie are truly spectacular. Many consider the famous lobby scene to be one of the greatest action scenes in film history. This is down to the almost perfect use of brilliant stunt choreography and music that fits the scene perfectly. The amazing special effects still look brilliant today, and the bullet time sequences were groundbreaking at the time. The Matrix has been parodied so many times, this shows the impact it has had on the world. If you were to mention the Matrix to anybody, I can almost guarantee they will have at least heard of it. In my opinion, The Matrix is one of the best action films of all time. Not only because of the incredible fight scenes, but also the intricate plot and use of state-of-the-art special effects. Moving on to the next film in the trilogy, The Matrix Reloaded, is a 2003 American science fiction film and the second installment in the Matrix trilogy, written and directed by the Wachowski brothers. It stars Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, Carrie-Anne Moss and Hugo Weaving, each reprising their roles from the original film. Neo and the rebel leaders estimate that they have 72 hours until 250,000 probes discover Zion and destroy it and its inhabitants. During this, Neo must decide how he can save Trinity from a dark fate in his dreams. The first film in the Matrix trilogy was always left open for a sequel. There were so many possibilities for what they could do in the sequel because the story itself was so open for a sequel to expand the story even further. The first film would have worked well as a standalone film anyway without any sequels, but this sequel is surprisingly good. The main reason why sequels are made is to make more money, but instead of just being a way of making more money, this film expands on the story and is almost as good as the first. In the first film you do not see much of the real world because most of it takes place on Morpheus' ship. In this film you are shown more of the real world, and instead of taking place in the Nebuchadnezzar, the main location is Zion, the last human city on the planet Earth after a cataclysmic nuclear war between humankind and sentient machines, which resulted in artificial life forms dominating the world. The best part about this film by far is the intense action scenes. The action scenes are incredible to watch and are on a much grander scale than in the first film, although it is lacking something that the original had. The sense of mystery and wanting to find out more is gone because you already know everything you want to know about the Matrix. The question, what is the Matrix, has already been answered. However, you can't complain because any sequel to a film as spectacular as The Matrix is sure to not fully live up to expectations. Overall, I think this is all you could want from a sequel. It is a very entertaining film, but I would only recommend it to people who have seen the first because watching this film without having seen the first would mean that nothing would make sense to you. This film is definitely worth watching for anyone who likes a good action film. In the third installment of the Matrix trilogy, the epic war between man and machine reaches its climax. The Zion military, aided by courageous civilian volunteers, desperately battles to hold back the Sentinel invasion as the machine army bores into their stronghold. Facing total annihilation, the citizens of the last bastion of humanity fight not only for their own lives, but for the future of mankind itself. But an unknown element poisons the ranks from within. The rogue program Smith has cunningly hijacked Bane, a member of the hovercraft fleet. Growing more powerful with each passing second, Smith is beyond even the control of the machines and now threatens to destroy their empire along with the real world and the Matrix. If I were to sum up this film in one word, it would be disappointing. After two good films, the trilogy goes rapidly downhill as this film progresses. It was obvious that there had to be a sequel to The Matrix Reloaded because it was left on such a cliffhanger, and it made sense to make a trilogy rather than just two films because it is more like a series of films rather than just a film and one sequel. It was also a good idea to bring these two films out in the same year so as not to keep the audience waiting so long after the cliffhanger the second film was left on. However, I was very disappointed with this movie. Everything that made the other two films great is missing. Almost the whole film is spent in Zion rather than the Matrix, meaning that there are not any spectacular fighting scenes like there were in the other two films. At the end of the film there is a fight scene between Neo and Agent Smith, but it is nothing special. Another problem is that almost all the focus is placed on the more minor characters rather than the main characters, Neo and Trinity. They are left out of the picture most of the time, and it seems as though they only have around 10 minutes screen time. Despite the brilliant special effects, this film is lacking. It is hard to root for the new characters because they are very underdeveloped and not very interesting. I wouldn't go so far as to say I hate this film because it does have its moments, but I would not recommend buying this film. Give it a watch if you find it on TV or really cheap on DVD, but don't expect much.